Hello, my friends. I'm Brett Larkin. This is a routine for your hips, and it's also going to give you an infusion of creative energy. Come to your seat. Take a moment to tune inward. Just notice your breath. Allow yourself to land. And maybe call to mind an area of your life where you need that creativity infusion right now. A situation or a problem where you could use that refreshed perspective. Settling into your body, breathing into the belly. And as you're ready, joining me in an all fours position, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Inhale. Broaden across the chest for your cow pose, spreading the fingers. Exhale, deeply round for your cat pose. 2 more, broadening across the chest. Navel still hugs up and in, even as you arch the upper back. Exhale, Halloween cat shape round. Good, and then taking a look at the screen as you finish up your cat-cow. We're gonna do some hip drops to open up into the hips. So lean way over to the right. And as you do, lean, 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 you hopefully feel a little something in the outer right hip. And then lean over to the left. Keep your breath soft and full. And you can intensify this as you go. So it's almost like your hip wants to drop to the floor, but then you don't let it. Allow the shoulder to shrug up, that's totally fine. And you might notice, as I am right now, that the 2 sides are really different, right? One, you can really feel into a stretch here right away, the other maybe not so much. If you're not feeling anything, that's fine too. This movement is still really good. Sometimes you need a little swivel in the hips and to allow the shoulder to come up. Making these hip drops, these hip big bumps big now. Last one on each side. Nice. And then come back to all fours. We're gonna do cat-cow again, but a little different. Take your left knee more towards the center of the mat and thread your right knee behind your left, best you can. Inhale, open the chest for your cow pose. Exhale, round into cat. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, look at your navel. Couple more like this. So we're taking the legs into kind of atypical position. This is a little foreshadowing of a stretch that we'll do a little bit later on. For now, just notice how it feels in the low back and the pelvis to be doing cat-cow in this weirdo configuration, right? It's good to take the body into different shapes, different forms, especially when we're trying to invite in new energy, new ideas. Let's do this on the other side. So this time you can take the right knee a little bit more in towards the center. Thread the left knee on top of the right and just play, right? Inhale, broadening, exhale, rounding. Moving as slowly or as quickly as you'd like. Again, maybe having that moment of like, whoa, these sides feel really different, or this feels really good, or this feels really weird. Let it all be okay. Nice. Uninterlace the legs, curl the toes under, sit back on the heels for a moment, little toe stretch, and we'll roll out the wrists. So interlace the fingers, give your wrists a nice roll. Little break since we're coming back into all fours. You can always be in fists, right? If traditional palms on the ground isn't working for you. We're gonna take the right leg out to the side. and a little bit of cat-cow here. Inhale, opening. Exhale, rounding. This one, I find your hips may speak to you a little more directly sooner. Just observing. And then find a way to make this feel good. So the inhale should be like really pleasurable. Draw the shoulders down and back. Exhale, look at your navel. Two more. Beautiful. Take the right knee in and the left leg out to the side. Option to switch to fists if that's preferable. I love doing cat-cow. And often we think of it as just one thing. And what I'm inviting you to do in this sequence is see how versatile you really can make the cat-cow. So many options, so many different ways to move. Make sure you're not straining in the neck, no yearning to look at the ceiling, just keeping everything easy. Make this more about the low back and whatever's going on in the hips. Nice, and then bring both knees back to a table pose. We're moving to be prone on the ground. So your choice, you can either get there through down dog, just spreading through the palms, pedaling through the legs, rocking forward to plank and lowering down in one straight line, or allowing the knees to come to the floor and then the body in one straight line. We're rolling over to come to bridge pose for my new favorite moves. This is a bridge variation, so listen carefully. I want you to have little robot arms. Lift, press into your elbows, and snuggle your shoulder blades underneath you. That's step one. And then we're gonna lift the hips, fingertips point towards the ceiling. And I want you to do figure eights with your hips like you were doing the samba as you lower your low back to the ground, but make this take up as much time as possible. So it'll look like this. Inhale, you press into the feet, lift the hips as high as you can. And then as you exhale, we're swerving the sacrum, feeling into all these weird juicy spots. So it's like a figure eight, up and down and side to side. And it's like a game with yourself for how long can you take before your low back touches the ground. And then when you're ready on your next inhale, lift back up. Close your eyes. Again, see if you can let this feel good, feel fun. Here we're really stimulating chakra 2, the desire and pleasure and creativity center of the body energetically. And after your next one, allow the hips to come back to the ground. If you like, you can just lengthen your tailbone, make sure you're at center, at neutral, and cross the right ankle over the left knee. Now this may be enough of a stretch for you just right here, and that's perfect. If you want an intense, deeper stretch, hold on to the back of the left thigh and gently pull the left thigh towards you. Make sure that this right foot stays really powerfully flexed with the ankle really overhanging the knee. I see a lot of students here. We don't want to be there because you're not going to get the deepest hip stretch. So foot powerfully flexed, and then draw the thigh in. Slow down the breath. Release the secret tension that's hanging out in your shoulders. Press the shoulders down into the floor. Slide them down your back. One more big breath. And then slide the right foot all the way to the right. And we're taking this into pretzel stretch. Flex both feet now and hold the outside of your shins or ankles. and pull your feet towards your face. So once again, try to keep the tension out of the shoulders. And if you're not feeling this, I want you to pull the ankles and feet towards your face more. So your biceps are working here, but we want the shoulders relaxed. One more big breath. Send your breath down into your low back, expand it into the mat. Exhale fully as you kind of yank and pull your ankles and shins towards you. Keep the feet really powerfully flexed. Good, and then let that unwind. Soles of feet to the floor. Noticing how you feel, tuning into the right hip, the left hip, checking in with each. And then left ankle over the right thigh. Option one is to stay here. Great option. Otherwise, pulling the thigh into the chest. Soften the tongue. Shoulders relax. Flex the left foot. And deepen your breath. We will be getting up again and moving, so enjoy this grounding. Think of your tailbone lengthening forward as if you wanted to crush a penny under your tailbone, making it a little longer on the mat. Low spine, super long, even as you pull the thigh towards the chest. A little bit of dynamic opposition there, lengthening the tail down as you pull the thigh in, and then sliding this into your pretzel stretch. Left knee slides on top of the right. Flex both feet, hold the outer ankles and shins, and pull down. Shoulders relaxed, biceps engaged. Every inhale, feel your belly puff up into your thighs. Every exhale, lengthen your tailbone towards the bottom edge of your mat. And one more big breath. Nice. Pull both knees into the chest. Give yourself a big squeeze. Curl over to one side, gently pressing yourself up. We're gonna make our way to downward facing dog, eventually coming to stand. So taking your time, pedaling through the feet again in your dog. Come onto releve, so lift the heels up and drop both heels. So swivel on your feet, drop both heels to the right. Inhale, lift the heels and drop them both to the left. Good. Inhale, heels back up. And then step the left foot forward, or whatever foot will allow you to kind of be towards facing me. We're coming into a goddess squat, so make sure your feet are at 45 degrees. Slide the hands up the legs to the inner thighs, thumbs on the inner thighs. And here you are in your goddess squat, which we've been preparing for, opening the hips. So you can just see what it feels like to be here, and then we're gonna do my favorite thing, the shoulder dips. So inhale, exhale, you're gonna press the inner thigh away as you dip that shoulder down and look over the opposite shoulder. So you're getting a little nice twist here, as well as opening the inner thighs and the hips. Inhale, exhale, other way. And then make this your own. Inhale, exhale, really forcibly press away that opposite thigh. Inhale, exhale, press. Two more. Looking over that back shoulder. Nice, and then hands to prayer at center. Press the knees back. Good, giving the thighs a break, straightening up. And I promised you an infusion of creative energy. So we're gonna do, you can bring the feet a little bit closer together if you like, a clearing the table somatic exercise. So I call it clearing the table because it's like you're taking your hand across an entire dining table that you just wanna get all the stuff off of, right? Like you're making a big mess, you just don't care, and reaching. As you reach, I want you to feel a stretch in the low back running down into the hips, and then we're gonna add the breath. So it'll look like this. So now that you've seen it join me, this feels really good. It should just feel fun and freeing. Activate the breath. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Nice. Take the hands to hips, come to stand, and just notice how you feel. You can bring the hands to prayer. Allow yourself to stabilize. When you're ready, turn the feet parallel. So toes forward, heels a little bit out, and melt over your legs. Sinking into our butterfly stretch. So you can find a nice forward fold, and then very gently coming down, one knee, then the other. Baddha Konasana. Weren't gonna miss this one in the hip class. And fold forward. Go inward, be with yourself. Notice if there's something you're wanting to let go of, or if there's some micro movements left and right that you want to be making, you can make those. If you want to slide your heels farther away from yourself, from your groin, or pull them closer in, all of these are options for you. Press the palms into the floor or mat. Gently come up, stacking the spine, stacking the vertebra. Head comes up last. Come into a cross-legged seat, and we're gonna close our practice the way we often start practice, that I like to start practice with, Sufi grind. So inhale, you're sending the torso forward. Exhale, you're rocking back on your sits bones, deeply rounding the low back. Sort of like your torso is a ladle and you're stirring the giant pot bowl of your pelvis. And just notice how it feels to do this exercise after some of the hip opening we've done. And reverse direction. And if you've never done this before, just enjoy. Inhale as you come forward. Kind of want to shine your heart like a flashlight over each knee. Exhale, round back. There's no way to do this wrong. It's kind of like a seated spiral cat-cow. Beautiful. And then come to center. Big breath in. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, hands to prayer. Trace that prayer down the face till it arrives at the heart center. And if you like, you can repeat after me. I am creative. I am open. I am fully here. I'm fully here. I hope you feel open. I hope you feel more grounded. And I'm wishing you a beautiful day full of creativity and light. From my heart to yours, namaste.
I've linked up some similar classes and relevant blog posts on this topic, along with some free gifts in the description box down below to help you take your practice deeper. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Namaste.